All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today, we start our coaching interviews previewing the 2021 basketball season. First up, I got Coach JT John Truman from Red Bank Regional. JT, thank you for joining me.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, and looking forward to getting started.
Yeah, you are my second time guest.
Do I get a plaque or something?
Yeah, Keating was my first.
So take a cup of coffee. How's that?
That's fine. All right, Duncan, done. Yeah. First, recap a little bit of last season. You guys had a pretty good season, didn't end the way you wanted. Overall, how did you think your team did?
What we've established, we've improved on our wins, and we've shown that we can compete with the elite teams. 21 wins, public school division title, first time since '96, I think. So the kids have just bought into to everything that's been presented to them. The great thing about them is, I love being around them. I don't know, they probably can't stand me, but they're just such a great group, and we have like 7, possibly 8 seniors back, and they've entrusted what we've been doing and teaching them, and they deserve to have this season. So it's about them. I mean, the wins and losses, whatever, they'll take care of themselves. But on another note, I haven't seen them since our last game of the year last year. Now, we were shut down before any other school in the state because when COVID hit. So I know our season may have ended a little disappointing. Overall, it was just tremendous achievement by the girls. And I think we're just anxious to get back on the court together.
Now, one question I had, what you guys gave Manchester, 2 pretty good games where, only St. John Vianney probably could say that again in the Shore playing against Manchester. What do you think, what attributed to the success that, you guys didn't win, but you took them to the end?
We still lost. I mean, we built on that. Like if something is called a good loss, I think the second game against Manchester was more of a better game. I don't think we were ever in the first game against them. And, I mean, they just, their bench, they were just so deep. And, what I would say if I was, Dave would say, we have destiny and you don't. And that's it. And she just makes everybody better, and it just demands so much attention, at all times, every possession. And it's tough to prepare for that. I wish her the best in Carolina. She's going to be great. Yeah. But I thought that loss the second time we played Manchester, and then 2 years ago, the overtime loss to Manasquan. If there's such thing as a good loss or to boost your program, those two, Manchester and Manasquan as public schools, and what David and Lisa have done there is, and with their programs, to be in those games. We lost by 3 both times. We like to win, and I'm not a big moral victory guy, but if you're going to look at that, those 2 games have really propelled us to where we are right now, I think.
And a big win, since you've been there too, that, made everyone notice. The RBR was probably the RBC 2 years ago, right? In the Shore.
We got to play them twice, so let's try not to talk about that. So I hope his memory isn't, he forgets what happened there. But no, anytime that you beat the elite program, you're going to get talked about, and especially on their court. And when you celebrate beating a team like that, it's more of a compliment to the team that you're playing against rather than the team that wind up upsetting them, because of the history and what Joe has done there.
Yeah.
And has been established. He's done it better than anybody since 95, 96 there.
Going into this season, what are some of the challenges you expect to face, with COVID? And I don't know what restrictions.
I don't think we have enough time for that. We'll be here more than that. Just to get them, they got to buy into just staying the course, staying in a bubble, staying with each other. I have, they're student athletes, and they're just great kids, and they have great families. And I believe in what they're being taught at home and what they're adults now. I mean, my core are all seniors, and they've been here, and we don't want what happened in the spring to the spring sports to happen. So we're going to do our best to stay together. And again, we haven't been on the court. I think, what we've been trying to do is just communicate through, Zoom meetings and stuff like that, and what's going on in the world today. And, not just get back to normal, but better than normal, not only as athletes, but as people and human beings also. So. There's just so many challenges that you can't even name what's going on right now.
Yeah, it's impressive, talking to some of the soccer players and parents. Some of those girls never even left the house except for if it was soccer or soccer practice, or because they didn't want to be the one to ruin the season for their team.
Well, my daughter right now makes fun of my son. We have Life 360, which is a great app, and all kids are going to hate me for saying that because all parents should have that on their kids. But my son's Life 360 is like home from whenever. He doesn't leave the basement. You get a PS5 and you're happy down there. So he's got to be in his bubble for soccer, basketball, and probably lacrosse in the spring. So, and you'll get that year back. Just stay healthy, and everything will take care of itself. That's what I hope happens.
Now, are you concerned? Your son's season ended abruptly for soccer. The chance, with basketball being indoors, you think anything like that could happen?
I don't know what to say. Every time I think I know what's going to happen, the opposite happens. So I don't know. I mean, I can do what I can as a father, as a coach, as a teacher, and go from there. Just trust what's happening at Red Bank, and same thing for Central, coaching soccer here. The protocol, everybody was consistent with protocols and stuff like that. Something happened when we had that warm weather over teachers' convention. We're not really with the kids, so I mean that was like 75 degrees for like 3 days.
Yeah.
So a lot of things blew up then, and that was right around Halloween too.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that New Year's Eve didn't create something, hopefully, and that everybody was disciplined enough to just wait for the season, because these kids deserve to have, especially our seniors. Definitely.
Yeah. Now we'll talk a little bit. You seniors, you have a good core coming back with Teeter, Decker, Madola. Just talk a little bit about everyone coming back.
We also have Mia Strand, Emma Moriarty. Cece Conti is coming back. She's been there, but she's always been banged up from soccer. She's always been injured, the poor kid. And her sister started for me 2 years ago. She was Mia Conti. She played in the middle when we had that great run against RBC and Manasquan in the Shore Conference tournament. So you'll be seeing her a lot also. So we have a good young core coming in, and then a good 8th grade class coming in also for next year. So how do you balance that? How do you prepare? There's no swing players. Do I put the kids that are going to be ready for next year all on JV? But also as a coach, I've always had this philosophy. If you start the year Thanksgiving and we go through to St. Patrick's Day, you're getting a varsity letter.
Yeah.
And if you're going to put in that time and be part of our program, you deserve the varsity letter. It's not about playing 20 quarters. It's about making a commitment and being part of a program, because number 20 is just as important as number 1. And that's what I've always tried to do. And I think that we really have got Red Bank in the right direction, and hope we can continue moving forward. This year, it's about, the healthy survive. And in soccer, we saw that.
Yeah.
A lot of great teams their seasons were cut short. So it's not about that. It's about, competing, being disciplined, but most importantly, staying healthy and doing the right thing. And then the court will take care of itself.
I haven't seen the divisions yet. What teams do you play?
We got RBC Rumsted, Long Branch, Shore Regional, Monmouth Regional. It's a location. It's phenomenal. Yeah. It's great. And I'm an hour away down here. So driving up there, and it's a short bus ride, because I'm going to ride. We're going to keep the varsity separate. But that's the other thing, busing issues, or if they drive. Yeah. I don't want kids driving in their cars for any reason. If they go with their parents, that's a district rule or whatever. But if we're on the same bus, you keep the levels separate. So, God forbid there is a breakout, we're all together, and hopefully we're doing the right thing. So.
Yeah, a lot of soccer teams did that too. They kept the varsity and JV separate just in case. Yeah. Yep. And, you saw that happen with, Shore Regional, the girls soccer team had to sit out, the varsity sat out 2 weeks, and the JV team, got called up. They were playing the varsity games.
I know it's everybody, the districts for the most part, I guess, are doing as much as they can. Yeah. Kids need to be kids. More importantly, they need to be healthy. Yeah. They need to be kids. They need stuff. They just can't sit around, and they need the mental aspect more so than the physical. The physical characteristics and anything with physicality is going to take care of itself eventually. You can discipline yourself, get in shape, whatever. The mental aspect of what's going on now, I think, has to be addressed and has to be more positive. being with your teammates, being with your classmates in a safe, healthy setting. I think the mental aspect of it has to be addressed, and we're going to try and do our best. And this might be, even though it's a short season, it's going to be the longest, shortest season in the history of basketball. It is. And by not having a December, this December has cost me more money for Christmas. And I didn't realize what my wife spends for gifts. Now I know, not being in the house most Decembers or since birth. Now I know what goes on, and I can't wait. Hopefully we get December back for my monetary reasons.
You talk about probably going to be the longest season. A couple soccer coaches said that too. It's the shortest season, but yet it felt like, forever. Something I want to ask, what is something you're hoping, Decker, Teeter, Medola, you have a couple good freshmen coming in. What is something you're hoping your seniors pass along, to the freshmen and the underclassmen?
The same thing that when I came in, I have one senior, Bridget Tobin, and she passed it down to Megan Murray and Mia Conti. And these kids right now, I am blessed with the best senior group that you could possibly have, because they started, this is their run. This has nothing to do with me. This is their run. And they've believed in what Bridget Tobin, Megan Murray, and Mia Conti taught them. Chloe Teeter and Caitlin Decker and Amelia Medola have started basically every game since they've gotten here. Emma Moriarty is our glue in the middle. She is the nicest kid. She's too nice. I hope she got a little meaner over the but she is so nice, and everybody roots for her. Mia Strand is the quiet assassin. She's deadly anywhere outside the court. And then Cece is a pit bull. When healthy, you'll feel the effects of Cece. She's like her sister Mia. They seem all sweet and innocent, but every once in a while they'll remind you of how tough they are. So this group, no matter what comes in as freshmen, or I wish the incoming 8th graders would see this group play. We're going to live stream it so they may get a better chance of seeing it, hopefully. But what they have done is overflowed from what Bridget Tobin, Megan Murray, and Mia Conti have taught them in the past.
I think, that's how schools start developing and become so successful long-term. It starts with a couple senior leaders that are able to pass it down to the younger kids, and they just keep passing it down over and over.
Yeah. And we've done things that haven't happened in a while, like 20, 25 years. And it's a credit to this freshman class, but more importantly, how they learn and what you want to be around a Chloe, Amelia, Caitlin, all these kids you want to be around, because they're so competitive. They're great in the classroom, and they're just a fun group to be around. And it just overflows. It's so contagious when you're building a program or creating a culture that reflects Teeter, Medola, Decker, and then Moriarty, Strand, Conti.
Now, Teeter's going to NYU, right?
She's going to NYU, yes.
And Medola's going –
we'll be working for them someday. So they're phenomenal academic schools. It's not about basketball. It really isn't. It's those two are perfect choices. They probably could have played up Division II, Division I if they wanted to, but they know what they're doing. They have great families guiding them in the right direction, and they're in a great spot. We'll be working for them someday, probably.
Yes, but everyone, NYU is such a great school to go to. If
it goes into the medical profession, I guess I should start being nice to her if I'm on the operating team. Get me back for her freshman and sophomore.
Now, I had Decker on a couple weeks ago, and she joked about balancing basketball and soccer, and like that first time, little disagreement with you where focus should be.
Caitlin is Caitlin. That's the only thing. Like, I talked about, Coach David Manchester saying we have destiny and you don't. We have Caitlin Decker and you don't. You don't know what you're getting out of Caitlin Decker from game to game, other than she's going to do something that's going to enable you to win and be successful. That's what I mean. Like, not knowing what you're going to get. You're going to get the same effort, and she's going to be, a thorn in the other team's side all the time. With her as juggling soccer, it's, me being selfish. Soccer is, and I say this all the time, I kid around. If these soccer trainers need you 12 months out of the year, then they're not very good soccer trainers. Or they don't have confidence in you as a player. You must not be very good. And then she looks at me, then she'll come back at me. But it's a great relationship. It is. I respect the hell out of that kid. And for what she's done on the soccer field, and which has overflowed on the basketball court, is, I just try to tell her every time we walk by her, you're a better basketball player than soccer player. She's like, what? Just like that. So it's, she's a great kid.
Yeah, I enjoyed. She had good personality too. I never met her in person, but she was pretty funny too on the interview, which is good.
She has a sense. They all have a sense of humor. Trust me. Oh yeah.
And that takes your relationship that you have, even with your AAU team. The kids love playing for you.
It depends who you ask. But I just love teaching. It's not about coaching. It's just teaching. And I've been very blessed to have many very good players to be around, and they make me look like I know what I'm doing. So which is really tough to do.
I was joking with Jordan and Rachel. I don't know how your players could keep a straight face with some of the comments that come out while you're coaching.
It's the filter hasn't. Well, this may not filter it. Who knows? We may see it, but you got to be demanding, not demeaning. And if it seems like you're being demeaning, you better come back with a joke or something more positive, and turn it on yourself. They can't wait for me to make fun of myself. Some of them, especially Amelia, will speed up the process of making fun of me. Chloe will, but she'll say something then hide. But Amelia will come right up to you and make fun of you. But no, it's a family setting. I wish we had a summer, because we have not done one thing basketball wise, and that's why I think it's going to be really special on January 11th once we get going. So they've been locked away, so now they finally get to go and be together.
Yeah, that was weird how some school districts allowed those summer and fall leagues, and others didn't want.
It's hard at Red Bank because we have three sport athletes. And I didn't want to be the one to say, all right, we're going to play in this fall league, summer league. Whereas now, God forbid something happens, you get infected. Now you're wiping out a fall program just to make a program that's not going on. So the two sole basketball players right now are Chloe and Amelia, that continue to work on their game, and they did stuff where they do training and stuff like that, which is fine. But everybody else is a multi-sport. Now, Amelia and Chloe are multi-sport athletes.
Yeah.
They just choose because they just are playing at the next level because they want to, and they're that good. But Chloe's lacrosse, and I think Amelia played soccer for a while too. So, but Amelia can play anything. Amelia just has that cutthroat look and that game face that she can play any sport. That kid.
What kind of obviously staying healthy, but what kind of goals do you think you're going to set for the team this year?
It's all about health. It really is. And to have a senior night for these kids, what they have done to Red Bank is they just deserve everything. I mean, their names are recognized. They've had records. Like Amelia set the record for most threes in the season. Caitlin had the most assists in a season. Whereas Caitlin saw upon herself that, we had scorers. She's like, well, I'm going to do this. And she set a goal for herself. And Chloe is just, her energy on the defensive end, like she's improved so much on the defensive end that has improved her scoring, and she's become our leading scorer. So it's, I don't know, it works. It's like, it's tough to describe what has happened since they've been freshmen, but I wish we had something to go on from the summer and fall, but I do have the utmost confidence in these kids that we don't need the summer and the fall. We need to be healthy. And then we got the 2 weeks, January 11th to January 27th, when we open up at Rumson. And then, hopefully we can, it's going to be tough as coaches, for all the coaches, if all the coaches are doing what they're supposed to do and waiting, not having illegal practices or anything like that. I don't know why you're laughing. I don't think that goes on at the shore, does it?
There was somebody posted something this morning on Twitter about that. I don't know what school, but it was a non-shore coach that posted it, but I don't know. I laughed when I read it, and I'm laughing now.
I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know. Yeah. I'm an hour away, so I can't do anything. But everybody, for the most part, once the ball goes up in the air, there's going to be a lot of in-game adjustments that you're not going to be able to do in practice. That's going to be the thing, and you're going to have to, put your ego aside and try and get these kids as much playing and get them used to playing with each other first. And it's almost like it's 12 to 14 scrimmages And then that pod at the end, all right, let's get after it then. So let's try and have a positive, healthy atmosphere. And then we get to the pods, and then we really get after it. So that's the main thing, because I'm not going to jeopardize a kid's health over a win.
Yeah.
There's no way. You can't do that.
And you said you got a couple freshmen coming. Any names?
Cameron Gardner, I know
right
now that she could make an immediate impact, and she has a lot of potential. She does. And I have another girl. There's a girl, Catherine McCallion, who I think can be very, very good, and another girl, a couple other kids, Kelsey Peduto, and both Lynches that I have, Ellie and Shannon. There's so many names that I have, like 30 to 35 kids in Google Classroom already that we're getting going. So the program has been in the 30s for the last 3 years, and that's a credit to those kids, Bridget, Megan, and Mia. And now how positive it's been with these seniors saying that, hey, if you play basketball, you're going to get this, this, and this.
Yeah.
The midget, even though he's a pain in the butt, he kind of knows what he's doing. Maybe they say that, I don't know, they probably rip me behind the back, but what they have done, and by promoting Red Bank and the families and being involved in the community. We've had camps that haven't happened, for just girls, and we've gone in the summer and done different things. So by them seeing their role models and becoming instant role models, and those kids coming up, we're starting to get the kids to stay in Red Bank, which is half the battle. You know that.
Yeah, I like what you said, being role models for the younger kids. When I brought my niece to a Jackson game, she does the camp that Goody runs, and all the players after the game went up to her. None of them even talked to me. I said, and she had the biggest smile on her face. It makes her want to pursue it more.
I know. Well, they can. The players are taller than me, so they can't see me.
Yeah,
so they don't even acknowledge me. But it's fun for the kids to see Chloe Teeter, Caitlin Decker, Amelia Madonna, any of those kids that we don't look like. We're not 6'5" walking in and being an intimidating presence by any means anywhere we go. But these kids, and with the best compliment I can say, they do things the right way. They play the game the right way. Everybody should play hard. They play hard, but they play the game the right way. And they play the game for each other, not for themselves, but for each other, which is the best compliment I can give this crew as a coach.
Yeah. And your team's definitely I think you guys have an advantage having so many seniors, compared to some of the other teams. I mean, I know St. John Vianney has an older team at RBC, but our Red Bank Regional's in good shape.
Yeah, we're gonna be fun. I mean, no matter what, just get to the pod healthy, and as long as we're on the court, we're fine. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard reads. We have a short time together left, and I want to make it as memorable as I can to thank them for what they've done the past 3 years.
Do you think Red Bank Regional will be able to do something for the seniors, for like a senior night or something?
I got something planned. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to get.
Yeah, that's what stinks. Fans not being allowed in. It's the seniors and the parents that most parents don't care. They just one game they would like to be there just to
live stream. If it has to be live streamed, then you do it the right way. But you could wait to the summer to do something right before graduation, or something at graduation, maybe when everything settles down. Some of the sports clubs can honor their seniors there. Maybe there's some things in the works, so we can hand out flyers and pictures of Chloe Teeter to everybody around. We have plenty of ideas.
And hopefully things start clearing up too by the time we get to the spring.
I have some friends banged up by this, and it reacts differently. It doesn't. Yep. It's scary to see some people, recovering for it. I see the physical aspect. I see the mental aspect. I see, even my kids, my mom. I've seen it. My wife. I've seen all this stuff, and I just, my wife and I, knock on wood, we've been pretty lucky right now. But I see what my kids go through mentally. The strain. And I see what my mom goes through mentally strained, and it's. I hope it gets better.
Yeah. All right, Coach. I appreciate the time. I'll let you go back. What do you got to teach again? More?
Oh yeah, we're teaching. We're memorizing the unit circle today, so that's fun for the whole family. If you're having trouble sleeping, I'm going to record my lesson. I'm going to do 12:30, and then you'll have no problem falling right to sleep. No, I'm only kidding. Nick, hey, thanks for everything you do. Thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing. Stay well and stay safe.
Thank you. You too, JT. I'll see you.
Thanks, man. Take care.